Donk Nation, Jackson Jennings, greetings and welcome to your Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you some Steelers talk. How the heck do I have it upbeat? Well, yeah, there was a slacking that happened this weekend. Laskers and Gingy will tell you more about that here in a minute. But there's this glimmer of hope called, we win this week in an AFC North smackdown snot knocker with the Baltimore Ravens. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in first week, guys. So while it's doom and gloom on the outside, it's all rainbows and sunshine if we win.
Gingy in the house, boy, oh boy, rainbows and sunshines. What? Second big blowout loss. 2 losses, 2 big blowouts. Is that
the San Francisco 49ers and former assistants of San Francisco 49ers certainly have the recipe on how to beat the Steelers.
Is that better or worse than like 2 squeakers? You know, lose by 3 in the last few seconds. A 2-2 team that way, or the 2-2 Pittsburgh Steelers the way they lost? What do you think, Laskers?
Oh, I think 2 squeakers is way better than getting blown out. Donkey may not agree, but we got blown out. It wasn't even close.
2 squeakers, I agree, is better, Gingy, and the reason I'm going to say that is there's a difference between a blowout and a demoralizing loss. You know, you can have, like, let's look at the Bears. They had a game, they were in it, and they lost the squeaker because the offense stopped playing. But there was good signs. There's encouraging signs moving forward. The Steelers are a young team, and my biggest problem is this isn't the first time we got beat by the same gosh darn game plan, Gingy. Tomlin talks about there will be changes. This won't happen again. But put on the tape of the San Francisco 49ers. Then put on the tape of 2 guys who run that offensive defense that came from San Francisco and Houston and tell me there were any changes from week 1 to week 4. Just tell me what changed. I guess we didn't score a touchdown. Is that what changed? We got worse?
Yep. Got more shut down. More shut down on defense. Their offense really neutralized our pass rush attack.
There was nothing to be done there. There's nothing to be done offensively, defensively. We can't figure out how to schematically put our guys in positions to win. We can't play the better players. Laskers, I don't know how to evaluate this team because I don't think the biggest problem is the team. I think the biggest problem is coaching, and we can't evaluate the players on the team when they're being put constantly in positions to lose.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. You know, maybe we should do a jet sweep left instead of a jet sweep right. I'm going to say that one, but I also don't think jet sweep's the answer. But
too soon,
it's okay.
Laskers, too soon.
Big changes are coming, Gingy, and I'm going to tell you what the big changes are because I got firsthand knowledge here. We have a new starting left tackle in Broderick Jones because Dan Moore Jr.'s knee's not good enough to go. And we have a new starting tight end in either Darnell Washington or Baby Hayward because Hammy on Firemouth is kind of a little wobbly. There's the big changes, Gingy. Breaking news. Just filling you in so we're not shocked when it happens this weekend.
Full pads on Wednesdays, Donkey.
Oh, full pads on Wednesdays. You're right. I also forgot about that. Big change. We're gonna somehow become a physical team when all we do is sign undersized defensive linemen that are versatile. Right. Breaking news here. That stuff doesn't work in the NFL. But Gingy, Laskers, we'll leave you out of this because I know you were busy doing your travel stuff. But Gingy, just break this game down for me and somehow end it with something positive.
Yeah, sure. No real consistency on offense. Too many 3-and-outs, Donkey. We have a brutal defense. And I think if they actually got to play like an average defense does, like what would that be? 48, 50 snaps a game instead of 65, 67, 70 snaps a game for our defense? Oh my goodness, they're getting gassed, Donkey. That won't be good for later in the season. So we need to find a way to string a couple drives together to get some balance and some time of possession.
I don't care if their asses are gashed, Gingy. They're the whole reason we trailed in this game. They were sent out there to, as Mike Tomlin said it, set the tone, Gingy. That's why we deferred the football to get the ball driven by a rookie quarterback who didn't throw a single pass until they were inside the goal line. Past the line of scrimmage. No passes past the line of scrimmage. Drives the ball 80 yards down this premier defense's throat, Gingy. Let's not give them a break here.
We were really neutralized. Our scheme was neutralized. You want to talk about coaching? The whole defensive scheme was neutralized, Donkey. Our deal is pass rush on the quarterback. Don't let him have time. Don't let him escape that lane and get out of that pocket and start running around. And what did we do? All freaking game, Donkey.
But by scheme, do you mean have TJ Watt wreck the other team? Because outside of that, I'm not sure we have a scheme on defense, Gingy.
Well, I tell you, I've seen it work quite a few times before, Donkey.
It's literally won us the Browns game this year. So
absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely.
Single-handedly. But, Gingy, I really feel like you're letting the defense off the hook here, saying the offense needs to do better. Hell yeah, they do. But when you're the unit that they spend the money on, you're the unit that's supposed to set the tone, and you just let a rookie quarterback eat your bacon. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but the same thing happened that always happens to the Steelers versus running quarterbacks. It's 3rd and 8, and we don't spy the damn quarterback, and he runs for 14 yards. How do we keep doing the same stupid plays for 10 years, listen to Mike Tomlin say changes are coming, and we're still dumb enough to look at it and think it's not piss, but it's still raining outside, Gingy?
Wow. What a lead in on that one, Donkey. I'm telling you, out-schemed on both sides of the ball. No, I'm not letting that defense off the hook, all right? I've been telling you for a long time that secondary is the most sus secondary that I've seen the Steelers put out there in 10 years as a starting unit. And
yeah, you have.
We are not keeping up with the times, Donkey. But that is the most disappointing part. You told me to put it together and end it on a high note. So let me give you this one on the defense. Letting a rookie quarterback do his thing like that is not something that is really not within my scope of understanding, Donkey. The Steelers eat rookie quarterbacks, and instead this last weekend they got eaten. And on a high note, we have been looking for that running game. I saw some tough sledding up the middle. I did see dirty word, versatile Najee Harris out there catching passes, sledding downhill through the middle. And when we found something that works, Donkey, on 4th and 1,
we go away from it.
Prime time to drive it home, try to do something, end on a positive note, not pull out a dub, but leave Texas with some dignity. They decide to just line up in shotgun, throw on 4th and 1, and Kenny gets injured as a result.
And mind you, this is when our offense has gotten 0 degrees of separation over the past 2 weeks because these receivers are not good enough to win one-on-one battles, and our coach isn't good enough to create mismatches. So yeah, we have. I
don't find a ton of excuses for all that, Donkey. I just don't know.
The excuses are the game plan sucks, the execution sucks, you get walloped.
Oh, I'm tired of getting walloped, Donkey.
Hey, I'm going to point out 2 things I really thought was fun. Alex Highsmith gets all this money, and then he gets one-on-one all game because they're double-teaming TJ like every team in the world should, and Alex Highsmith can't beat a practice squad offensive tackle. Yep, that's what happened on defense. Enough said. Offensively, this is all you need to know. Najee Harris is running it down the team's throat. It's 3rd and 1, and instead of putting in Najee to run the ball between the tackles, we take him out for Jaylen Warren. But my bright point here, Gingy, is Najee Harris let Mike Tomlin have it. These players are starting to call the BS the coaching staff is doing, and to me, that was the bright point of the game.
It's something has to change, right? Put out a poor product. We're talking coaching quotes, right?
Also, poor bright product. Point, the Steelers can still be first place after this week, Gingy. Are we ready to do some nickels and dimes, cash or trash?
Give it to the donkey.
Let's start on offense. Laskers, I'm going to start with you, and don't worry, this doesn't really have a lot to do with last week's game. During last week's game, however, we saw left tackle Dan Moore Jr. leave the game with an injury. James Daniels has already been out with an injury, and Pat Freiermuth injured in the game. The additions of Broderick Jones, rookie first-round offensive tackle, and Darnell Washington, rookie third-round tight end, who's built like an offensive lineman for obvious reasons if you've ever seen him, 6'8", 270. The addition of these two players is going to help the Steelers' run game get established and be successful early in the game rather than when they're down 2 scores against the Baltimore Ravens. Cash or trash?
Cash. That's definitely cash. We need some new blood because we've had the same thing going on for the last few years, and we can't get the run established.
True that. Gingy, there was a play at the start of the game that ended up in an interception by former Steeler Steven Nelson, who we should have kept, but we prefer old, washed-up people. Neither here nor there. We've done it 3 times now in the past 5 years. But my question for you, the cash or trash statement, is going to be, when Deontay Johnson comes back, if Calvin Austin III wants to continue seeing the field, when he gets a 50-50 opportunity, he needs to learn how to play the damn football, or he should be on the bench. Cash or trash, Calvin Austin III will get less than 30% of the snaps going forward if he doesn't learn how to compete on 50-50 balls.
That's cash, donkey. That's a cash statement. I mean, Calvin Austin, this is essentially his rookie year still, right? I really wasn't looking for him to wow me with any particular technical talent, different things of that nature. He is the classic speedster. If he can do that, donkey, then not only does he become more valuable than 30% of the snaps, he becomes a more premier guy.
True. Laskers, let's go over to you. This is number 3 on the offense. When we're talking Deontay Johnson, we're talking George Pickens, we're talking Calvin Austin, Allen Robinson, Pat Freiermuth, Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren, Kenny Pickett. When I talk to Pittsburgh Steelers offense, really, schematics is a problem, execution's a problem, but at the end of the day, arguably the biggest problem, and right now the Steelers' biggest struggle, is they don't have one of them S-tier elite players at any position on offense. Cash or trash?
Oh, that's definitely cash. We have no one that's S-tier player at this point.
Fair. Gingy, let's go to you. Number 4. Oh, where do we want to start here? The Pittsburgh Steelers offensive acquisitions. Actually, we'll save this for the last one because it kind of rolls into the defense. So let's move up here. New number 4. Kenny Pickett goes out, has a bad game. Scheme's not working well. He's getting happy feet, all of this. Gingy, cash or trash? The poor play of the Steelers' offensive line is turning Kenny Pickett into David Carr.
Oh, David Carr. That's a very specific analogy, donkey. I'm gonna go with trash on that one. All right, David Carr is a little bit harsh. Let's not overreact. Okay, I do see what you're seeing. Okay,
how his happy feet got him hurt on that 4th and 1 because of bad play calling and bad offensive line play. He leaves the pocket when he doesn't need to.
Bad play calling, not playing to his skill set, not really scheming to his skill set. I don't know how you're going to fault that guy for that. So to be able to insult him all to the nation like you just did, right to everybody. Insult him.
I said he straight up is getting happy feet and scared because of David Carr. What? Okay.
Derek Carr.
I'm going to phrase it this way.
Whichever one you said. I don't know.
David Carr, yes, David Carr. And to me, what killed David Carr's career was how many times he got hit in Houston. You just started to see him throw off his back foot, leave the pocket early. Just, he felt phantom pressure because he got so used to getting hit. And I feel you're starting to see those kind of traits show up in Kenny Pickett.
I sure hope not, donkey, but you might not be wrong there. I'm still going trash on David Carr. Not time to panic yet, donkey.
Fair enough. At least we didn't pay Daniel Jones $40 million a year. Laskers, last one on the offense before you guys are going to give me a dime of the week. So we know Mike Tomlin's conservative. We know Matt Canada's straw hat can't draw his way out of a paper bag. It's why he's gotten fired everywhere he's gone and has been unsuccessful in most of his stops. But let's look at the acquisitions that have been made. Allen Robinson getting brought in. Guys like Simualo Daniels, Mason Cole. We all were here, all were singing the praises of Omar Khan and how great it was. But then these guys got to the field and they just have not performed. Laskers, cash or trash, Omar Khan, in fact, had a bad offseason, not the great offseason we all gave him credit for.
I'm going to give him a trash. I mean, this is a tough one. It's a borderline one. It's not entirely him. It's some of the players not showing up.
Fair enough. Laskers, just curiosity, do you have a dime for the week because you didn't really get to see the game, or you just want to send it to Gingy?
Oh, my dime for the week is Najee. I mean, Najee actually showed up this week. So you can't complain about him.
Told you he would look like a first rounder. Gingy, you got a dime for the week?
Absolutely. I think I agreed with you heavily on that. Laskers, I'm right with you, echoing that. Najee Harris, need to see more of it. Will eventually take pressure off of Kenny Pickett if we're able to see some of that consistently and perhaps pop open some more options for him in the passing game.
I'm going to triple down because my dime for the week has to be the pass from Kenny Pickett perfectly on the money to Najee Harris on third down to absolutely give the Steelers a little bit of something to cheer for the weekend.
Edge. It gives them edge, Donkey. It makes you nervous on defense. It really...
Edge! Gingy! You get to start the defense, and let's talk about the edge. I want to talk about the two edge rushers. TJ Watt is getting double teamed the whole darn game, so he ain't going to beat any, you can't do anything. When they're throwing the ball in 3 seconds, you're getting double teamed, you have almost zero chance. Schematically, we never moved him from the edge. We didn't try to sneak him into the middle. We didn't try to flip sides to confuse the defense. But that's not really what I want to talk about right now. What I want to talk about is the other end. Alex Highsmith is left one-on-one the whole game with a practice squatter and doesn't get a sack. Alex Highsmith is not worth $15 million a year, cash or trash.
It's tough to say from one game, Donkey. I'd say that's trash. He has the production over the course of years. I mean... with inflation, Donkey, $15 million is basically like, what, $9 million? We'll just call it that anyway, we'll say. I don't know,
it's
Donkey.
Less than Darius Smith is making right now.
I will tell you where I will cash one aspect of it. He sure as heck didn't look like a $15 million player last week. But to revoke that man's paycheck after one game, still had a 15 sack season in TJ's absence, and has shown light even already this season in terms of some different spurts. I'm not ready to throw
a lot
in
of
the
that
towel
15
on
sacks.
Let me add on this
happened
one.
with TJ Watt first. Just putting it out there.
Let me add on that one. That one's cash. He didn't even have a freaking single solo tackle.
He definitely can't stop the run. He never could, Laskers. That's.
But you
point.
should still be able to tackle someone.
Have you watched the Steelers play? Because I'm pretty darn sure if you have the last 3 years, you know that is, in fact, cash money that they don't know how to tackle. Laskers,
I know.
let's keep going with you. Let's keep talking about this defense. Okay. The defense is set out there to set the tone. They give up a huge drive to a rookie quarterback, and more embarrassing, they didn't even make him throw the ball past the line of scrimmage because we're so afraid to press cover that we play 8 yards off and let him complete a screen pass for 20 yards. Let the running backs go for 5 yards a carry. Let the quarterback go for 10 yards a carry. Laskers, cash or trash, this defense isn't getting the hate they deserve because the offense is inept.
Oh, that's a cash statement. The defense needs some real serious help I mean, if we're not even trying to tackle within 10 yards, we ain't going to win another game this season.
Fair. Gingy, let's go over here. Let's talk about the secondary. You had big questions of them going into the year, and now they should be even bigger. Levi Wallace, Patrick Peterson, the combination of them makes C.J. Stroud look like he's Patrick Mahomes and make Nico Collins look like he's vintage Randy Moss. So... Oof. We don't really switch out. We don't put in Joey Porter Jr., who, by the way, if you look statistically, his 14 snaps a game, no one does anything against him, but that's neither here nor there. He also had a game-winning breakup on a last play, but heaven forbid this guy ever sees the field, right? Let's talk secondary back behind them. Minkah Fitzpatrick, I haven't seen him this whole year. I mean, someone send out a missing person report, put his face on the back of milk jugs, because that guy ain't nowhere. DeMonte Casey, the best thing I could say is when he gets run over, at least he stops the running back after he gets carried for 5 yards. And Keanu O'Neal, man, you make me miss Mark Barron. And at least he actually pretended he was a linebacker. I don't know what the hell you're pretending to be. Gingy, cash or trash, this old, washed-up secondary playing the soft zone coverage that Mike Tomlin loves is going to give up more 300-yard passers than the Steelers ever have in the past decade.
Boy, Donkey, I think that has a real possibility to be cash. Cash statement. I don't think we can cover a premier wide receiver. Nor can we cover up the middle. Nor can we really stop the run on a consistent basis. Why would we have any objectionable reason to consider not giving up 300 yards on that Donkey? I don't know. And that might be a little bit pessimistic, but I'll tell you what, where is it going to come from if people are drawing up schemes to stop that outside rush of the Steelers, which thus far has been quite potent? We're in trouble. We're in trouble if that gets shut down, Donkey.
Double team TJ Watt seems to work really, really well. Houston was the first team I saw do it every play, and my lord, was it successful. Laskers, let's keep rolling on this. The Steelers traditionally do really well at stopping rookie quarterbacks, but that didn't seem to happen here today, and who knows if it's going to happen here in the future. That edge really seems to have gone. So, Laskers, my cash or trash to you is the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they want to make the playoffs, will have to play man coverage more than 50% of the snaps this season. Cash or trash?
It's definitely cash. They need to figure something out, and right now zone is not working for them.
No, not at all. Gingy, last one. Okay, Nico Collins rips us up. I mean, we kept Pierce under 4 yards of carry, so maybe the rush defense is showing some signs of stopping someone, potentially. But at the end of the day, did they stop someone because, we knew Houston was going to run the ball, so we were kind of selling out to stop the run? Or did we stop the run because we're good? I don't know. I don't know what to say. All I have to say, though, is defensive coordinator, he spent a couple years in Cincinnati and finished with bottom 10 defenses both years. Based off the fact that Mike Tomlin has a big say in this defense, the Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to change schematically. Is going to be part of the cash or trash here for you. So the real question is, the Steelers don't scheme their best players to get into winning positions. You've seen Myles Garrett line up in the middle. You've seen Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa both do it. You see premier pass rushers move around. You didn't see TJ Watt move around the whole game when he's getting double teamed. Gingy, the lack of ability for the Pittsburgh Steelers to invent plays to get themselves going and their conservative nature is, in fact, going to lead the Pittsburgh Steelers to having a bottom 10 defense in the league this year. Cash or trash?
Boy, that's going to be cash, but that's not going to be the only reasons, Donkey. I mean, you identified a pretty niche and exact reason, but boy, if that is the only problem that needed to be solved, then I would find that to be manageable.
I already let you go off on the secondary, Gingy. I was leading you slowly to my final question, all right?
Yeah, I would find that to be manageable if that was the only problem. But holy shamoly, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do hear what you're saying. We're calling out some. I just think the team needs to gel as a unit. All right, there needs to be some chemistry. Maybe the bye turns this around. Yeah, the team's got glaring weaknesses, but chess is a mental game, or football like chess, mental game, moving your pieces around. Like you said, I know that that's kind of contradictory with our scary versatility word. We don't want guys to be too versatile, right? We want
Next
them to be
man up,
aces.
you have to win your battle. Okay? Next man up, you have to win your battle.
Don't you be reciting that poetry to me right now, all right, donkey? We gotta keep it we gotta keep it real here. We can't give it to Tomlinism. I'll give you a cash for that statement, but boy oh boy, the defensive woes go much deeper than just what you described there.
We got a bonus question right here because I want my hot take to go. Eric Bieniemy, way overdue to be a coach in the NFL. Pittsburgh Steelers, known for hiring minority coaches. Both of you get to answer this. Cash or trash, Eric Bieniemy will be the Pittsburgh Steelers coach next year.
Trash.
I don't see it. I mean, you never know, donkey. Maybe the future is now.
I would certainly hope so, but that's neither here nor there. Blaskers, Gingy, do either of you have a dime for the defense?
Not this
Dime
week.
for defense. Dime for defense. No, I got really nothing. You know my disgust with the giving up to the rookie quarterbacks, donkey. That's a negatory. No dime skis on any of that. What do you think?
My dime for defense is Brad Wing. Welcome back to the NFL. 6 years overcoming your substance abuse problems and averaging like 45, 46, 47 yards a punt. It was something nice to see. It was consistent. We've had consistent punting almost all year. It's kind of fun. I know it's not really defense, but hell, that was about the only guy who showed up to play on the negative side of the ball, I guess we can call it. Okay. Any closing thoughts before we get to the Ravens game? The Snot Naka, Gingy, Laskers, anything?
Nothing from last week, donkey.
No.
Let's move. Or I'm ready to move forward past that business.
All right, let's move forward then. We got Baltimore on the schedule. This is going to be at Acrisure Stadium, where, of course, we lost to them last year. I believe we went 1-1 last year against the Ravens. That puts us at 33-25 all time. You know Harbaugh, you know Tomlin, you know they're going to play to a damn field goal football game. I believe both games last year was 16-14 and 13-10 or something along the lines of that, where both games were a field goal and both games were under 20 points. All time at home, the Steelers are 19-12. On the road, they're 14-13. Let's go. What is the biggest win in the series history? Is Pittsburgh by 37 and 97. That's 37-0. Baltimore won by 28 in 2011, 7-35. The longest streak is the Steelers at 5 games twice from 01 to 03 and 97 to 99, and Baltimore 4 games from 2015 to 16. The current streak is the Steelers at 1 as they won at Baltimore last week on January 1st. What a new year start. Can we keep the perfect record going against the Baltimore Ravens this week? That's the big question, Gingy. How are you seeing things go? Gingy might have muted himself again. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, I hear you. We need to be putting some pressure to put some offensive points on the board, donkey. As I said, I think where the scheme lies right now is defense is getting worn out. Defense is formidable enough. Okay, but you cannot expect these premier pass rushers. Yeah, listen here. Listen, donkey. Cannot expect these pass rushers to stay gassed up all game. What was I talking about earlier with 68 plays, 67 plays, you know? If we're getting these premier pass rushers to the quarterback, which I think that we can if they don't have to play so darn much, if we're able to stack some drives together, heck, even pull some points out of them, a field goal maybe, got to make it formidable on both sides of the ball. Defense is carrying too much of the weight, and it's really bogging them down.
Gingy, can I counter and play devil's advocate for you real quick?
Asking too much of that unit. asking
Gingy,
too much of that unit.
What happened both games where the defense got a stop on their first drive?
I don't know, Donkey.
The Steelers go on to win the football game. Cool. Gingy, what happened both times Mike Tomlin defers the damn football and the other team, maybe not to defer the first game, but the defense gets on there to make their statement and show them the premier group, and they get it shoved right down their throat. What happened in both of those games? Oh, that's right, a blowout. So what if it's on the defense to make a damn stop at the start of the game so that we can play a balanced offense? Laskers, how you feel on that?
As long as it's not a deferred, I think I'm feeling pretty good. If the defense is automatically forced to it, I think we're feeling pretty good.
I don't think anyone's feeling good right now. But let's be honest here. We win this game. We get to the bye week. Maybe the big changes will happen, and we can see some production going forward. There's a lot of players out on both sides of this game. There's a lot of injuries in Baltimore, a lot of starters out for the year, and guys like J.K. Dobbins. I believe they lost one or two offensive linemen. But the guys who kill us are still there. They're still Lamar Jackson. They're still Mark Andrews. That offensive side of the ball is always going to be pretty fearsome going out there. The Steelers side of the ball, we're going to be without 5 quote-unquote starters here. That's DeMarvin Leal. That's punter Presley Harvin. That's left tackle Dan Moore Jr. That's right guard James Daniel. And starting tight end Pat Freiermuth. Laskers, is the injuries going to be the really talking point of this game that no one seems to be mentioning?
I hope not. I'm hoping Brad Wing shows up again. And, when we have to punt the ball, I'm hoping we don't have to punt the ball that much, but I'm hoping he shows up and shows his leg.
It'd be nice if he didn't have to show up at all outside of holding kicks. But Gingy, I wanted to give you a little time to stew before I came back to you after my devil's advocate counterpoint. Gingy, you still feel the same about the defense?
Defense overall? Yeah, Donkey. We have, with a defense with TJ Watt, is a formidable defense.
Yeah, fair. Well, it has a good pass rusher.
Which in today's NFL, if you don't scheme completely against it, which you're right, some of those other guys have to step up. When your top guy is an S tier, and you're struggling with your next best player really being in that B tier, that we need to see some of those guys make that ascension.
There's plenty of guys who are paid to be in that next tier. Whether you want to look at the money given to linebackers like Cole Holcomb and Landon Roberts, you see Alex Highsmith out there getting paid on the other side. You saw the money given to Minkah Fitzpatrick. How about the money given to Levi Wallace and Patrick Peterson? The money's given there. This defense has the money put on it, but I just don't see the money players, Gingy. I don't see them on defense. I don't see them on offense. And when I don't see them on either side of the ball, my question now starts to become, do we not have the talent of the other teams? Or is this a coaching problem? And if this is a coaching problem, Gingy, how the hell do you fix it?
That's a good question. You come out and get a dub. You come out and you get a dub, Donkey. You band together as a group. Why were we talking differently about this at the beginning of the year, Donkey? It's because we thought we were going to see something different. So really, that notion right there lends itself to coaching, right? Because we're seeing same stuff, different players, same stuff. Are you with me on that?
Oh, I hear you. We were promised an offense that was going to be different, an offense that was going to focus more on moving the ball down the field, making big splash plays,
action, running the ball consistently.
And it's hard to do play action when you start down in the game. That's why both the games we've done it there. But honestly, my bigger problem here is on less than 25% of the plays, do the Steelers have more than 2 receivers run more than 15 yards down the field? If you're trying to be a vertical team, not only do you have to do it probably 45% of the time, run at least 2 receivers down the field, but you have to be taking those shots. I believe the Steelers in normal plays, so this excludes plays where Kenny Pickett breaks the pocket and extends, like the Najee Harris pass, for example. On par plays, the Steelers have only thrown the ball 3 times more than 20 yards down the field.
That's devastating. See, that really allows a defense. That really allows a defense to open up a certain number of plays on you, right? Because you are not stretching them, you are not challenging them. They can really lock in on what you're doing. It just constricts you. Yeah, it just constricts your options.
It does. It shows in the game. Last week, Najee Harris was not Jaylen Warren. They got no running yards in the first half because both the Houston safeties are playing within 9 yards of the line of scrimmage because after that interception on that first vertical, we didn't run another vertical route the whole first half. So these guys are sitting playing downhill, and when they're playing downhill, that means the linebackers now can scoot up another half yard. So now that contact, instead of happening 2 yards, positive is happening at the line of scrimmage. The fact of the matter is, schematically, we are letting teams take advantage of us, and we say, oh, but if we would have got the run game going earlier, it would have been okay. But let's be honest here. Do either of you believe that Najee has a successful game if the game stayed close? Because to me, why Najee had a successful game was we finally got those safeties back to the 12 yards where they're supposed to be, but that only happened because Houston wasn't going to let us get a big play. If we kept it close, they stay in the box, we don't run the ball well, Laskers.
Oh, I agree. I don't think Najee would have had a good game at all if it was for Houston's game plan.
Gingy, am I missing something here?
It wasn't even the game plan. It's just what they adapted to, Donkey. It's not that you're necessarily missing something. That's how it goes. But that's why you got to out-scheme another team. Right? Just like you said, when they know we're passing, we're not doing well. When they know we're running, and then we're running, we're not doing well. Big shocker. What if, Donkey, what if in our wildest dreams the other team thought we were running and we threw a pass? I haven't seen that in 2 years.
That's very fair. I'll give you that. I got a better one for you, Gingy. What if, hear me out on this, what if we didn't just do the damn jet sweep right that Laskers wants to do, or jet sweep left? Which one do you want to do, Laskers?
Oh, no, we're going to change the jet sweep left.
Okay, so we're going to do a jet sweep left, Gingy, but hear me out on this. I don't know which receiver can throw the ball, but I'm going to go ahead and say that Miles Boykin can throw the ball. Not only is it a jet sweep left, it's a reverse pass to Kenny Pickett.
No. Too
and his
cute.
bum leg running down there with his big old cast on or brace on. They're never going to expect us to throw it to a bum-legged quarterback, Gingy. Come on.
I can't believe that we even wasted time in practice running that. If they did it all. It sure as heck doesn't look like they did that much, but any time at all on that is not well spent.
And, does anybody remember the play from Varsity Blues, what they call it? The Statue of Liberty, right? Is that what they called it? We're going to have Tweeter catch the football and pitch it to the lineman, okay?
Please spare me,
We are going to become creative. We're going to hire James Vanderdush to come be our offensive coordinator for a day to have a little fun.
When you're talking about Varsity Blues, what level of football was that now?
Hell if I know. High school, 5A, Texas football.
There you go.
Hey, that's about the level our coaching staff has shown this year. So
there you go.
Come on, Gingy.
My point. That's my point.
Okay. Well, I guess we haven't really even covered anything in this game. All right, let's get down to this game. It's going to break down to the same things it always does. The Ravens, really good front seven. Secondary can be exposed a little bit, but obviously have playmakers there. Kenny Pickett needs to step the hell up. He needs to make the throws that are there. He needs to lead one of those clutch Pickett drives we've seen at the end of the game, Gingy. Because let's be honest, this is Steelers, this is Ravens. Unless something really weird has happened, it's going to be a close football game, is it not?
I mean, typically it is. These two teams are very familiar with each other, right? And I see what happens when you know what the other team's going to do. we play them differently. For once, Donkey, I know I keep hitting this. For once, I just wish we could do something that really caught the other team off guard. Like they really didn't see it coming. Like, whoa, that play was, wow. Just once, Donkey. But yeah, I agree with you. Heavy pressure up front seven. Really need to give Kenny a clean pocket. Like you said, those happy feet, that's the result of getting it shoved down your throat too many multiple times in a row. Give him a clean pocket. Let him build some trust and reliability in there and string together a couple first downs, for goodness sake.
That'd be nice. Preferably early in the game, too. Something before the last drive of the second quarter. But, Laskers, when we get out there defensively, you know what the Ravens want to do. They want to throw the ball deep, and they want to run Lamar Jackson. Those things could be a problem for the Steelers. But you know what? We have been the last 2 weeks more successful in a 2-week stint of stopping the run than we have been in a really long time. Is this fool's gold, or is this something that's going to be built on through the Baltimore game, Laskers?
Right now, I believe it's fool's gold, but I'm hoping that it's not. I think we can build on it.
We'll see. We will have to see, that's for sure. Maybe the least talked about point we've made here is the special teams, and both of these teams have had games affected by this. Chris Boswell seems to be lights out Boswell. We all know who the hell Justin Tucker is. The punting game for the Steelers, Gingy, could be the X factor. We have a successful punting game. We play good field position. Maybe things finally go our way.
It's really sad, Donkey, when you got to look to your punter as your X factor.
Hey, I remember a season, late 90s or early 2000s, where arguably the Steelers' best player was Miller, the punter, on offense. All right?
No. Just no.
Yes. Just yes. But the last closing thought I want to get on you guys here is Kenny Pickett's knee injury and wearing that brace going to be a factor in this football game?
Donkey, I think it might be. I sure hope it's not, but I can't see how it wouldn't be. Kenny Pickett while not known for running, can be mobile. And whenever that mobility is restricted, we have more options restricted. You know what I mean? And that's the last thing we need. We just got done with a conversation about our restricted options on offense. So I sure hope not. I sure hope that he's still effective, well enough to be somewhat effective mobily. We'll see.
That would totally be nice. Laskers, you fearing for Kenny Pickett's life, knowing that there might be a guaranteed mesh point for the defensive ends to meet up to smash his brains in, for lack of a better word?
Oh, I'm definitely scared. Hopefully it's not as bad as any of us think, but I'm scared.
It's not a good thing, that's for sure. You know what? We've had a lot of doom and gloom here, but the Steelers have a chance to really come out, really go to it, and really be the division winners going into the bye. Get a little healthy. Maybe get Freiermuth back. Maybe get Deontay Johnson back. Going against a Baltimore team that I believe is third in the league in points per game, allowing 15 points a game right now. Yards per game, they've been absolutely stackhouse good. It doesn't matter who's running the ball because Lamar Jackson's their running back, Gingy, as you like to tell me all the time. They have rookie receiver Zay Flowers, who's been their top target. You add in, Mark Andrews, Nelson Aguilar, Beckham Jr., early pick last year from Bateman, likely a guy who toasted the Steelers last year. The receiving core has some potential to really hurt the Steelers. You also go out there, let's not forget, they have one of the best blitzing safeties in the league in Kyle Hamilton. I think he has 3 sacks. They also have Jadeveon Clowney, Matabuke out there on the defensive line. A lot of talent there that we don't even talk about on this team, like Owe, the rookie. And what scares me the most, I think, is in the middle. They have two very solid middle linebackers in Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen, who are those more downhill guys who can stop the run. I just have a hard time finding where the Steelers find a weakness on this Ravens defense unless they're willing to attack them vertically, Gingy.
Yeah, I don't know. They're gonna be loading up. They're gonna be covering it. They're gonna be covering our bases, Donkey. Like I said, the two teams know each other well. We got to do something different. We got to do something surprises. Let's hope that Tomlin pulls out that change.
Yeah, let's hope that it's Joey Porter Jr. starting at both left and right corner, and Levi Wallace and Patrick Peterson both getting replaced by him. But that's neither here nor there. Closing thoughts before we get to the AFC North picks for this week from you guys.
I got nothing.
Not ready for it, Donkey. Come on, Ravens week. Let's go.
It is time to get hyped. It is time to have fun. So let's start with the obvious one. The Cleveland Browns are on a bye week, so they can't really win or lose. That might be good for Bashaj Watson and his little hurt arm because he doesn't want to play football. We have the Bengals going to the Arizona Cardinals. Shall I call the Arizona Cardinals Pittsburgh West again, as they are being led by the one, the only quarterback who hasn't thrown an interception yet, Joshua Dobbs, former fourth-round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he is joined in the backfield by a guy having a great year, former Pitt Panther, former Pittsburgh Steeler, former third-round pick, James Conner. Who'd you like in this game? Laskers, let's start with you.
I'm going to take the Cardinals in this game. I just don't see the Bengals being anything at this point with what's going on with their quarterback.
Ginger!
Come on, give it to me, Donkey. Golly, I'd like to say the Bengals are going to turn it around, but they sure look like big booty cheeks here recently. I'll tell you what, give me the Cardinals.
I hate to say this, but I felt the Bengals were going to have a bad year this year, but I feel this is the game they step up and they win. Give me the Bengals, just a team playing with that pure one and pure emotion. And let's not act like anyone expected the Cardinals to actually win any football games this year. If you did, you were kind of nutso, but kudos to you because you're smarter than I am, so I'll give you that one. Now it's time. We have your undefeated in primetime Pittsburgh Steelers playing the Baltimore Ravens, but it's not in primetime, Laskers. Who'd you like and who's your X Factor?
Give me the Ravens, 27-17. My X Factor is J.J. Watt. We got to get to Lamar Jackson. If we can't get to Lamar Jackson, we're screwed.
And who'd you like, Gingy?
Donkey, I rarely pick against the Steelers, but I feel like I don't know if they're bouncing back on Ravens week. Donkey, give me the Ravens in a close one, 20-17.
There is no way in hell, after you yelled at me for saying you were on the damn bandwagon, that you're going to pick the Ravens, Gingy.
What? No. What bandwagon? What are you talking about?
The train, whatever the hell I said 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Donkey, after last week, golly, I'm very discouraged. What from that offense has really shown me that there's going to be any consistency in production? Donkey, this is a big week. Do I say that the season is shot at 2-3 going into the bye? No, but Donkey, get the stop hurting my heart. 20-17. X Factor. We've talked about him so much. X Factor, Kenny Pickett.
Is negative plays consistently considered not being inconsistent? I need a clarification point here.
Yes.
I need a ruling.
Yes, it is.
Then we are consistent on offense in producing plays that go the wrong direction, Gingy.
And we are also the most consistent team at 3 and outs in the league, I believe.
and not scoring in the first quarter or on the first drive or on any damn drive ever existed in the history of man. But on the bright side, at least we're undefeated on primetime and not outscored 95-17 in our 3 primetime games like the New York Giants, Gingy. So it always could be worse.
I hear you, Donkey. What's your pick? Let us hear it.
I really want to say the Steelers are 3-2 going into the bye. I really feel in my heart the Steelers are going to be 3-2 going into the bye. I also really feel if I pick that the Steelers are guaranteed to lose. So I got the Baltimore Ravens 23-17 because we're not allowed to score 20 points on offense. I think they shut down T.J. Watt. I think that's the problem. My X factor for this game is going to be Mark Andrews. I don't think the Steelers stop him, and I think that's why the loss happens. Alrighty, it's that time of day. It's time for shout-outs, Laskers. I'm sure you have one because someone you love season ended last week.
Actually, I'm not even gonna shout it out, Donkey. I know what you want me to say, but nope, I have no shout-outs for the week.
Oh, we're pulling a Gingy. Gingy, are you pulling a Gingy?
Absolutely. Are you serious? Another freaking blowout from the Houston Texans rookie quarterback? No one gets shouted out for that, Donkey. No one.
The Pittsburgh Steelers learning how the other side lives, Gingy. As we can say, none of us really remember the Steelers not being a good football team. I mean, maybe 2 or 3 seasons out of my whole 30 years I can remember. But my God, learning how the other side lives sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah, it certainly does. But I do have a shout out. Brad Wing, welcome back to the NFL. I mean, 6 years away from it, working through the XFL, overcoming substance abuse problems. I mean, yeah, you did it to yourself, but at the same time, seeing the triumph of a person overcoming their demons and not living in their damn fears, Mike Tomlin, is something that was exciting for me. But I guess I should ask before we go, do you guys have any NFL stories you'd like to talk about?
I do not.
Gingy?
Niners are a wagon. Christian McCaffrey is running the wheels off of it out there. Holy smokes. When he's healthy, he looks good.
He certainly does.
Going for the gold.
He really looks good when he's healthy. What is he at? Like 650 rushing yards thus far? It's something. He's cracking
I think
right
he
along.
has more rushing yards than the Steelers have offensive yards this whole season. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to let you know I am the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey on Twitter, Twitch, VX, all those fun things. This is your Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger. We try to keep it fun. We try to keep it light. We try to keep it exciting. I hope we did that this week, because if you stayed with us for the whole hour, I appreciate you. I love you. Thanks for the support. Laskers, what's up?
I'm the Laskers everywhere. If you can't find me, well, then you can't spell Laskers. To you, Gingy.
I love it, Mutant Gingy. We hanging out, gaming, we talking football. Holy smokes, it's Ravens week. Folks,
Snot
knocking football. It's going to be a nail biter. It always is. Steeler fans, find them towels, get them all warmed up, because leave it all out on the field this week, because we got a bye week to rest up afterwards. So give them everything they got. Wave them if you got them. Here we go, Steelers.